Hey, how you doing today? I am Tequila Coleman. In today's video, we're going to talk about your prodigal isn't the problem. So I need you to understand that your prodigal, he or she isn't the problem. I know it may seem like that your prodigal is the problem. I know, you might be telling yourself, all he or she has to do is just walk away from the counterfeit, stop choosing their pride, and just humble themselves, right? But listen, your prodigal isn't the problem. The counterfeits, they're not your problem. I need you to really understand where the real problem is at and where it's coming from, okay? Because when you know what is the real problem, when you know who is really behind why your prodigal spouse is behaving this way, when you really understand what the Lord needs you to understand, you can fight this battle strong. You can stand strong, okay? I keep seeing in the comments people saying I give up. This is a hurtful process, and it is. This process it isn't for the weak. You need tough skin for this. You have to really want it. You got to really want to understand this process and understand why God has called you to this, right? You have to really be ready to go to war with the enemy, right? So this process is not for the weak. It's not going to be an overnight process because there's some things that God has to reveal to you. God has to equip you for your destiny. I say it all the time, this is more than a marriage. Okay. But I need you to understand your prodigal or the counterfeit, they're not the problem. Let's take a look at the real problem at hand. Okay. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. It's a 4 hour struggle for your struggle. It's not against flesh and blood. Let's start right there. The struggle you're having in your love story is not against flesh and blood. It's not against your prodigal. It's not against this counterfeit. It's not against whoever trying to come in between your love story. It's not against this, okay? It's a 4 hour struggle. It's not against flesh and blood, but against, he about to tell you, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. I looked up ruler in the concordance and it means the leader. It also means of angels and demons. So we already know angels are not trying to keep us from our blessings, okay? We already know that. That's common sense. So if it's not angels, it got to be demons that's trying to keep us from our blessings, right? I looked up spiritual forces in the concordance and it means the devil and his demons. So let's read this again. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood. My struggle is not with my prodigal spouse. My struggle is not against these counterfeits that keep springing up. No. My struggle isn't with those who slander in my name, those who gossip behind my back, those who falsely accusing me. No. That's not where the struggle is coming from. I need you to understand this. Your struggle isn't with, the people who, doubt in this love story. Your struggle isn't with the person who's lying on you, who's falsely accusing you, who's slandering your name, who trying to, be with your spouse. That's not where your struggle is coming from. It say, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realm. Your struggle is spiritual. This is a spiritual war that you have to fight. Stop fighting with your prodigal. Stop fighting with the counterfeit. Stop giving up because when you give up, you partner with the enemy. The enemy wants you to give up. The enemy wants you to tap out and surrender. Okay? That's the enemy's goal. John 10:10 say the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Right? The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. How does this thief steal, kill, and destroy from out of your life? I'm glad you asked. It comes sometimes in your dreams. This is where God is teaching you how to interpret your own dreams. The enemy will come to steal, kill, and destroy at the evil altars. The very thing you can't see. And you actually can see it when you see the manifestation of it begin to manifest in your life. You know there's an evil altar erected when all hell breaks loose in your own life. You know there's something going on spiritually when all of a sudden your finances is bind up, right? When you hit with hardship, when you hit out of the blue with depression, your mind is under attack. You know it's something spiritual. You know it's something going on. You know there's something going on when you and your spouse were once in communication, then all of a sudden he or she broke away from you and no longer, like discontinue the friendship or relationship. You know it's something spiritually going on here. Come on now. Your battle isn't against flesh and blood. This battle is not with your prodigal. It's not even with the counterfeits. That's why God say bless your enemies. You know, pray for those who despitefully use you and persecute you. This is why the Lord is telling us to do these things, because this is done spiritually. Okay, this is the enemy coming to steal, kill, and destroy. This is what you would call spiritual robbers, destiny stealers, or killers. Okay, this is the enemy behind the scene trying to steal your destiny. This is the enemy behind the scene trying to take all of your spiritual blessings that God has already blessed you with in the heavenly realm. Read Ephesians chapter 1, verse 3 and 4. He already blessed you with this marriage. And now you see how the enemy has crept in and trying to steal this marriage from you. The enemy is trying to steal all of your spiritual blessings. He's trying to steal your favor and replace that favor with rejection. He's trying to steal your money, your wealth, by giving you poverty. He's trying to steal your health by giving you sickness and disease. Come on now, you can't give up. You can't give up. There's no giving up over here. Come on now. You got to fight for what is rightfully yours. You have to begin to understand that this is a spiritual battle that you are involved in. You're not fighting with your prodigal. You're not fighting with no counterfeit. You got to take this war in prayer. You got to deal with this in fasting. Okay? You got to learn how to use your authority, how to use the word of God to fight back. Okay? So listen, your prodigal isn't the problem. It say, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood. You are not struggling with your prodigal. Even if you see that Leviathan, the spirit of pride, rising up in your prodigal, that's what you are really dealing with. Leviathan. It's not your prodigal. Yes, they keep choosing the pride, but the pride is there. The pride, Leviathan, is there influencing your prodigal to behave according to that evil spirit. You got to look behind the person. Look behind the criticism. If you can name it, it's a spirit that you're dealing with. That's where the struggle is coming from. The things you cannot see. All right? Your prodigal isn't the problem. This battle, this is a spiritual battle that you got to fight in the spirit realm. Okay? You got to fight in prayer. You got to take this battle, and fight it in fasting. Okay? So with that, I am Tequila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.